Hey guys, we are in beautiful Innsbruck in Austria, and in this video I want to show you what does it take to build a great software for specialty coffee industry. So check it out. We traveled to Innsbruck to meet the team at Cropster. If you haven't heard the name before, it's a tech company developing software that helps specialty coffee roasters, producers and also cafes to make better coffee. In this video, we'll show you behind the scene of the company and also what are the steps in building a good product for specialty coffee industry. Okay, so we are in Innsbruck and the first thing we're gonna do is to have a coffee, and there we meet the founder of Cropster, Andreas and Martin. Andreas, Martin and also third founder Norbert all come from Austria, have an IT background, but they all met at the research project in the coffee producing region of Colombia. That's where the story begins.
So we got in touch with the early specialty industry at the time in 2006 and 2007. We needed IT systems because the cooperatives were remote because of the infrastructure. And we built semi-online system. And just think, it was before we had smartphones. And the project ended after 3 years of financing. And we thought that can't be it, right? We said, yeah, we can do something with IT systems. We can help that industry, we can help and improve the supply chain and have a positive impact. It went really fast from there and Cropster was founded.
Alex, what's happening?
So right now we already have a coffee and we are going to the Cropster offices. Cropster has multiple offices around the world now, but the main one is in Innsbruck, Austria.
We are up there.
We are excited to see the place where software that we often see at the roasteries is built.
Welcome to our office.
Thank you so much.
We made it. It's our fourth or fifth office actually. We started out super tiny with a single room, but we underestimated the growth actually at that time and what we need. So we moved out basically after 14 months again and we found that spot here. This is the coffee station here. We have here the coffee that we actually brew from different roasteries. And if people brew every 60 years, that's what we most do. And they put it here and basically push a small Slack message saying, hey, coffee's here, and people come here and get a cup. We are a tech company. In the end of the day, we do tech, but we only do coffee. And so we think coffee. When we talk about products, we talk about coffee. And coffee is the word we use most. And more than 10. So we have these three main products. So that's roast, that's where we are best known for. We have Origin, which is a product especially for farmers. And it's a very different thing because, for example, we help farmers at the collection point at the washing stations to register the harvest batches coming in. Then we have Cafe on the other side of roast in the supply chain. And we are working on a system to share recipes, to do quality control, to connect espresso machine and gather data out of that. So you get your similar consistency reports and things that our roast customers are used to nowadays.
We'll dive into Cropster Cafe with its product manager Issa later on, but now let's get back to the beginnings and talk about the challenges of developing software for coffee roasters almost 10 years ago.
So when we started out doing the roast software, we had the problem that the machines had very little electronics in it. You know, today a roast machine has a small computer in it, there is a wire we connect and that works. But these machines were simple, sometimes they had an analog temperature. And we also had to have a hardware that translates the data from the temperature sensors to the cloud, right? And these were the first two that we did. It was the case of a iPod Mini or Nano, I don't remember. And it worked, but then we ran out of cases and Nano price was too high. So we built it out of Lego. Here is the USB, here the wires go in. For us, that thing was not so important. We focused on the software and needed to get the software out in front of customers. This is how it looks today. So it's much smaller. Yeah, that's how it evolved over time.
So the first step was to get data to show and analyze. From there, roasters started to request more and more features to improve the quality and consistency of roasting. But seeing the data in real time wasn't enough. Wouldn't it be cool to predict what will happen in a minute or two?
Over time, we were able to develop algorithms and neural networks, so AI-specific feature to predict roast. And you see how the rate of rise will develop and the bean temperature will develop. We can predict temperatures in 2 minutes. That's so accurate that it's basically at the standard error what the sensor on the hardware has.
This all means that roasters can better plan their work and save some precious coffee beans from being wasted. Now, let's have a coffee and meet Isa, who is a product manager of Cropster Cafe. He took us through a process of building the software for specialty coffee shops. It all starts with a research and series of questions.
What are the pain points in coffee shops? What are the things that baristas spend a lot of time with that we could make easier with a software tool? What information do they need? What data would they like to gather to brew better coffee or to brew more consistently? The ideation really starts with the problem. We listen to our customers, identify the problem, and we document this in what we call a pitch, which is really a proposal as to, hey, I've researched, this is the workflow that we are looking to solve. And that's also the point where we bring in the rest of the team here.
As we learn, the product team usually consists of a product manager, designer, front-end developer and back-end developer. Now, let's get our hands dirty so we can show you their work in detail with a specific task.
As a cafe manager, I want to be able to create checklists based on existing tasks so I can cover full scenarios or workflow. So that's one example, and it was one that we heard so often that we realized it's important, so it's a must-have for us. And so from that, for each of the stories that we definitely want to cover, we build what we call user journey. This is the first step that we do and we discuss before we go even into designing any screen.
At this stage, the team creates a simple design of the future app and an interactive prototype that is tested with customers. This way, a lot of potential problems are fixed before any code is written.
Then we go to development. And so the developers actually have to implement this feature. So writing the code so that it magically appears on your screen and it works also, so that the right data is there and it can be saved accurately and all of that. Before we actually put it into the hands of customers, we do two types of testing. One is alpha testing, which is usually done internally to already identify some bugs and things that we need to fix. And then we do beta testing, which is where we put the product into the hands of a few select customers that actually test it in real life, in the setting where it's supposed to be. The barista in the shop, the cafe manager in their office or also on the floor. The feature is bug-free. And then we are actually finally able to release it.
Then there is still a long way to get it to the hands or screens of the customers. It was quite exciting to learn about all the steps that it takes to deliver useful software, and talking with Isa, we realized there is a nice parallel between software and coffee worlds.
You learn this as you work in coffee, how many people are touching the coffee before it's actually ending up in your cup, where you're a customer in a cafe and you drink a €3, €4 cup of coffee and you're like, damn, this is actually quite expensive. But you know why? Because once you learn, there's so many people touching it. And I think with software, it is a little bit the same, where there are quite a lot of people touching it before it ends up on your screen or on your phone. And so, yeah, I think it's kind of interesting.
Thanks for watching. Let us know if you have any questions and check out some other videos we made in partnership with Cropster.